In this video, we are going to bust a habit building myth. Hey, everybody, my name is Leah Fish. I'm the founder of CEO Rise, and my company is dedicated to serving neurodiverse entrepreneurs, employees, and students to create the kind of productivity that builds self confidence and allows them to make the kind of money and lead the kind of lives that they want. So, in this video, we are talking about yet another huge myth out there in the world, which is quality, not quantity. Well, I'm going to argue that when it comes to habit building, it's the exact opposite. There is total value to quality, obviously. And obviously, over time, doing things in a way that's intentional and has quality, you can feel that it translates. There's value, and at the same time, when you're trying to build a habit, the best thing that you could do is do it frequently. Um, I choked there because I wanted to say, it's frequency. Do it frequently. And so if it's something like going to the gym, it's about building, you want to build muscle, right? Let's say you want to lose weight, you want to whatever at the gym, the most hackneyed example in the world. But if you go, you will go more. And if you don't go, it gets increasingly harder to go. And then when you do go, your experience is exhausting because it took so much for you to get there. Then by the time you get there, you're, already out of shape. So doing anything is super difficult. Whereas you go a little bit, you do something like on the edge of your comfort zone slash ability. And then you do that again and you do that again. And that's how you move the needle. And there's so many stories of people like being completely out of shape and then they're like, okay, now I'm going to hit this thing full force. And what happens? Of course, they burn out, they hurt themselves. And can they go the next day or the day after? Of course not, so it doesn't really get them anywhere. So if you're an extreme athlete, or something like that, obviously quality is super duper important. But if you're someone who wants to build a habit, the best thing you can do is just do it frequently. And there's a couple of things that also happen here that are super key to life. One of them is that you will start to understand areas where you've been holding yourself back. So, because you're setting up time in your day to go to the gym, you're going to notice that, oh gosh, what a surprise. You've been going to bed too late, or you've been drinking that last drink too late, or whatever. And so it starts to build inside of your life these natural frames. Like it starts to implement an infrastructure just by choosing one habit. But if that's a habit that you're doing just randomly from time to time, that doesn't happen. So, one thing that happens is that you build this infrastructure and it starts to help you in all areas of your life just by one tiny thing. It's the butterfly effect, right? The idea that the flapping of a butterfly's wings in London affect traffic patterns in New York. Whether or not you believe in that or the collective unconscious, things within yourself are pretty obviously connected. Like if you are ill, it's hard to have motivation and creativity about your job, right? If you're super stressed about something that's going on in your life, it's hard to be, lighthearted and energetic about painting the house or whatever. I'm making up examples. But the point is that you're one person. And so everything that you do or don't do in your life is connected. So when you go for quantity over quality, not only are you going to start to see how these things fit together and you'll be able to make more strategic changes that you probably weren't making without this additional thing added in. Number two, you're going to build what most people do not have, which is self-trust. So much of what we do in our lives is based on the experience of all the ways that we haven't done stuff in our lives. And I love the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, where he talks about, really changing the patterns in our brains and the associations. Well, if you know that every year you've set a goal to go to the gym and every year you're in the 92% of people who have failed in their goals by January 19th. And that number doesn't change because that's what people do over and over and over again. Well, you get to make a different choice. And the way that you do that is just by choosing quantity over quality. So you don't even have expectations of yourself. You just put on your sneakers and you go to the gym and you see what happens. And you will find that you're like not in the mood that day. Okay, but you know what? You went to the gym, you kept your word. The impact of changing your perception of yourself literally gives you more energy by believing that you're this badass person who goes to the gym no matter what. Doesn't have to be every day, doesn't have to be, for these 2-hour sessions, but you go to the gym, right? If that's your goal, for example, you track your taxes no matter what, if that's your goal. You clean the house no matter what. That it doesn't have to be every day. And when I talk about habit building, I'm talking about in the context of 66 days. And in the courses that I teach, we always talk about 66 days for habit building, because that's the minimum average that it takes to build a habit. Based on many, many studies that they've done, you might see, build a habit in 28 days, in 30 days, and 90 days. But they found that actually it's somewhere between 28 and 185. And the kind of what I call the minimum average is 66 days. So if you give yourself the context of 66 days, which is a little over 2 months, and you say, I'm going to do this as many times as I can, and I'm not going to feel bad or beat myself up for the days that I don't do it. And let's just see what happens. And you mark the days, and you don't have to get all intense like Seinfeld with the don't break the chain, because that just sets you up to fail, in my opinion. Because unless you are already the most disciplined human ever, you're not setting yourself up to win. Because if something happens, you forget, your car breaks down or whatever, it just stinks to not keep your word, right? So don't set yourself up to do it, every single day. Set yourself up. If you're someone who's going to the gym, I always give this example with my clients. If you go to the gym once a month for 2 hours and you have this incredible workout, or you're someone who goes to the gym every single week for half an hour and you do a pretty good workout. Now, if you're a fitness expert watching this, you're probably like, Leah, you're completely off base. A high quality workout is worth so much more. But when I used to do 25-minute workouts, the slow method, it was every week for 25 minutes. And that was it. It wasn't long, it wasn't frequent, but it was every week. And I saw incredible results, and it was really, really hard. But that was more of a quality thing. But because I was doing it every week and I knew that it was only 25 minutes, it gave me kind of like the Pomodoro method, or in my world where we time everything. When it's not going to take that much out of you, like it will be over soon. So set yourself up when no matter what that habit is that you want to start building, you can do it. Just say to yourself, I'm going to do this as frequently as I can, obviously being realistic. So if it's drinking water, you're not going to do it like every single, 5 minutes, you're going to be drinking water, but you're going to see how frequently can I do this and see what happens. And most likely you'll find that you find the ways that work best for you to actually build this habit, and much more quickly than you thought, that you're pretty good at this. And in fact, you have more ideas of how to make this more fun and more you-ish. And you're going to get that information from quantity, not quality. So here's to building your ideal habits, your ideal way, which you don't even know what that is, but the you way is definitely going to be the right way. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and the subscribe, and I will see you